Do you know on an average, HR sees a resume for only 10 seconds. And if he or she doesn't find the resume convincing enough, they will swipe yours in no time. Hello guys, this is Sanjana from FingerTips, and yes, what I said earlier is absolutely true. See, the HR receives tons of resume for a job position and you only get 10 seconds to make the perfect first impression. So, we have come up with this video to help you get your dream job more easily. In the video, we will see how to make the perfect resume for fresher along with some tips for resume making process. But before starting, let me ask you a question. Are you a fresher? So what do you think? Is the resume and CV same? If your answer is yes, then you are wrong. They both are very different. CV is a Latin phrase that stands for curriculum vitae and it means the course of your life. Whereas a resume is a formal document that provides an overview of your professional qualifications, skills and accomplishments. A resume is a summary of your experience so far, but in a CV, you write your detailed work, responsibility and proper description. In short, a CV goes the extra mile to highlight your awards, honors, achievements and etc. So why are we learning to make a resume? Because resumes are made for jobs in every industry and CV is used for jobs in academics and research. The very first and important step in your corporate life is your resume, as it will be your first indirect communication with an interviewer. And that is why it is important to follow all the guidelines given in this video accurately while framing your own resume. And for your easy understanding, we will be dividing your whole resume into 6 different sections that will be personal information, career objective, academic qualification, project details, achievements and certificates, and at last personal skills. Let's talk about the first one, which is personal information. Now, there are various elements in personal information: name, photograph, contact details, and finally your link to your LinkedIn profile. Starting with the name, see, there is a standard format for writing your name. Always write your full name in the resume, and the first letter of your name and the surname should be capitalized. The next is your photograph. In the resume, we are required to attach a passport size picture. You need to make sure that your picture is decent and professional. A normal picture in your gallery will work, but make sure it isn't with a hat or sunglasses. Also, don't attach your selfie. Now, if possible, use the same picture as your LinkedIn profile, as in that way, your recruiter will have an easy time recognizing and remembering you. The next element in the personal information section is contact details. You need to mention your phone number, email ID, and your residing address in this. Don't give an old or unavailable number that is mostly out of reach. Always provide the active number because you never know. You can receive a call from a recruiter at any time. And if possible, add an alternative phone number to your resume. Now, almost everyone's first mail ID is something funny, right? But now obviously this won't work. A decent and active mail ID must be provided by you on your resume, which you check at regular intervals. Now next is residential address. This is an optional element. Also, you're not required to mention your whole address with the block number. Only the city and state will be good, because company might be looking for candidates from one particular location and this will help them. Now the last element in the personal details section is the link of your LinkedIn profile. If your LinkedIn profile is well maintained, then you can go ahead and add its link in the section. You can see this is one of the ways to display your personal information section on your resume. The second section in your resume is career objective. Okay, what exactly is a career objective according to you? See, it is nothing but your ultimate long-term goal for your future career. Remember, the career objective in your resume should be effective and to the point. In a few lines, it should include who you are, what you want to be, and how you will contribute to the company's growth. Let's see some of the example of an ideal career objective in your resume. First, To be given a chance where I can maximize my abilities and support in the growth of the company. Second, seeking a position in an MNC where I can develop my talents over time and advance the business. Third, a competent and highly motivated person seeking a position of authority in a recognized company. Do you want to hear an additional tip? Read and extract the keywords from JD to grab the HR's attention more. Let's move on to our next session of your resume, that is academic details. HR would never read your academic details if it is written in paragraph form. So the best way to showcase your education qualification is in the tabular form. The sequence for the same should be from the latest to the oldest. And the important columns that are necessary are the course details, name of the institute, and year of passing. Now the next session is project details. A fresher resume with creative coursework or last year projects are always welcome. Because you guys don't have any work qualification, this section on your resume will definitely interest the HR. Try to include project details and quantifiable descriptions. Be precise in your descriptions, mentioning only important details of the same. And try to mention the link of your online portfolio, which will depict the work is done by you. Okay, so next section is achievement and certificates. The first rule is to mention certificates that are relevant to the job profile. Don't mention a certificate that you have completed 5 years ago and you don't even remember learning from it. The certificate must be from a reliable and authentic center. Since you are a fresher, you won't have any work-life achievements. So in your resume, you are required to mention achievements of your student life. Certificates received for participation or for winning any competition can be mentioned here. You can even mention any volunteer work you have done under the achievement section. Last but not the least is personal skills. Fresher often assumes that this part is the least important, which is wrong. You can mention the skills in two types, that is hard skills and soft skills. Hard skills are the technical abilities that make you fit for the job. These skills can be learned in classrooms, in online courses, and etc. Hard skills might include data analysis or your technical expertise. And soft skills are the traits that make you a good employee, like communication, creativity, teamwork, and etc. Always remember to add skills in the resume that are relevant to the job you are applying for. Now, these were the 6 different sections that make your resume complete and appropriate. Now let's see some of the general tips that you should keep in mind while framing your resume. I hope you remember the 10-second rule. The HR would only look at your resume for the first 10 seconds, right? Now, if your resume is overly filled, it will create a problem for HR at a first glance. Also, the huge blank space will show that you haven't done much till now, and that will create a negative impression. The key is to manage the white space properly with adequate information. Next is format for writing achievements. Try to write the achievement in the most specific manner and always try to quantify them. Numbers tend to catch the attention very quickly. For example, you managed an event at your college. The ideal way to write it down is successfully managed event which held for 3 days and headed a team of total 59 volunteers. See what I did here? I backed up my data with numbers and now it looks more reliable. Next is don't hit the send button without proofreading. Always double check the spellings and grammar used in the resume. A resume with such errors shows your insincerity towards the job. It reflects how careless a person is who doesn't proofread a document before even sending it. Next, don't use too many pictures and graphs. What you are writing is a resume and not a presentation. Multiple use of graphics will be unnecessary. If required, you can use a maximum of 1 graph or even picture to demonstrate your work, but more than that, it's not advisable. Next, don't mention your salary expectations in the resume. As informed earlier, your resume would be your first interaction with the HR. Information like your monetary expectations, your work timings, can be discussed at the time of the HR interview. Mentioning such information at a beginning level creates a negative impression. So these were the 5 most important tips which you should keep in mind while framing the resume. I guess this is it for this video. We hope you find it interesting and informational. Stay tuned for more such videos and subscribe to our channel to stay connected. Until next time, happy learning.